Okay, well, if you're like me, you've been seeing. Oh, sorry, I didn't open this properly. Hey, everybody, this is Perch. If you're like me, you've been seeing a lot of tweets and blue sky posts, no, probably not that one, news articles, other things talking about how Snow White is a woke bomb. But the problem is, as I've read a lot of these posts, it's become really hard to kind of pull through what actually has happened. I'm seeing a lot of people saying it only made $3 million. Well, that was for Thursday. That was an opening day. Is it bombing? Is it not? When I try and go and get objective truth about what's going on, just search the news. What I basically see from a lot of news sites is that Snow White is got a long way to go and likely won't break even because of its very large budget. That it has the word I keep seeing is tepid, a tepid performance in the box office, and that it's not exactly doing great. And to some extent, this isn't a surprise to me. It doesn't look good. I understand everybody's tying it to the comments that Rachel Ziegler wrote. Rachel Ziegler said, not wrote. But the problem is, a lot of people aren't watching entertainment news stories. Maybe they're seeing clips on Twitter or Facebook, but by and large, people tune that stuff out. The movie just doesn't look good. The dwarves look bizarre, these CGI monstrosities. And in general, Disney live action remakes don't do great. Whenever I say that, people bring up, like, well, what about The Lion King? What about Beauty and the Beast? Yeah, well, what about Mulan? I mean, there's been a diminishing return for a lot of these. Cinderella didn't do amazing. It's a Disney live action remake. Its one hope of success is to land with kids who want to see, for whatever reason, this film. So, I mean, before any of this began, I think anyone who's being honest would go, yeah, this isn't going to be a multi-billion-dollar blockbuster. It just isn't. There's too much history to suggest it's not. Now, by the way, at this point, if you're getting angry because I'm not screaming woke enough, that's not what this movie's about. This video is about. I'm just basically wanting to point out what's going on. What got me really suspicious about the whole thing is that as I'm looking at different posts and people are sending me things, and a lot of people, let's see, 18 of you, it's not a lot, but 18 of you. I don't know why you do this. You sent me screenshots of your theater showing empty seats. And certainly that's bad, but I've struggled with the empty seat screenshots before, because kind of like the graph where it doesn't go all the way to zero when looking at the stock, it just feels a little bit easy to game. And very quickly I noticed something. Everyone posting these screenshots, or a vast majority of them, I'm sure you can find others, but the vast majority of them, their first screen times for showings after 7 p.m. They're all later. So what's the problem with that? Well, this is a kids movie. And in some cases, a lot of screenshots are from Thursday after 7 p.m. Okay, so you're telling me that you're shocked that a kids movie, the seating charts for a Thursday, which for many people, there's some spring break, is a school night. It's like people are sending me screenshots like, look at the 9:30 showing on Thursday night. Nobody's going. Well, yeah, it's 9:30 on a school night. People aren't going. That's not exactly shocking. Hey, be honest with yourselves and go look at some of these other theaters at 9:30 at night. You'll find that there's plenty of seating there for those too. So a lot of these, but almost all of the screenshots that I'm seeing are all for evening showings. And what's the problem with that? This is a kids movie. So it's very unlikely that people would be there. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't me defending the film, because as you're about to see, there are problems here. But I like honesty. Fundamentally, that's what it is. And it feels dishonest when somebody is using a screenshot from a 7, 8, or 9, and hell, one person had an 11 o'clock at night showing, and they're trying to roast Snow White over not having for having unlimited seating available at 11 o'clock on a Thursday night. And it's like, okay, come on, that's just not being honest. Okay. And the sad part about it is there are honest things you can do here, as we're about to find out. So I thought, you know what? In real time, I did some screen recordings. This is me just trying to find seats in theaters, and let's take a look how that goes. Okay, so right now we're on the AMC Theater website. And like I said, we're going to do this real. I'm going to use a Texas zip code. Here's my little home zip code. And, stalkers. Anyway, here's a bunch of theaters we've got. And we can kind of take a look at what's going on. This is Grapevine Mills. This is a mall that I think is more kid-friendly. And as you can see, there's a ton of showings. And let's just take a look at one and see what we've got. Okay, empty. 1:45 p.m. Why does the screen do that? Anyway, 1:45 p.m. and the theater has 3 seats available. Let's check 4:45. Okay. Completely empty, 4:45. Now again, Grapevine Mills is they've got a Lego store, they've got a Peppa the Pig thing. This is 10:45 a.m. It's Sunday. I'm looking at this on a Sunday. So granted, there's some church. I'm going to try and stay away from the early mornings, and I'm going to try and go really from that 11 to 4 p.m., which should be, clear kid hours. And as you can see, yeah, this thing is not doing well. Now, here's the part that's confusing me is one seat available. That was at 9:45, but that's an example of if you look at the evening show times, you're going to get stuff. Now, okay, there's a bunch of different showings there. I was looking at the Extraordinary Experience. Maybe parents are actually buying digital. Let's look at 12:15 and nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can get any seat you want. So what you're gonna see as I go through here, here's 2 p.m. This is a weird ass theater. And why is it bounce over like that? Don't know. But anyway, this is AMC, obviously a big chain, and we're looking at kind of all different. This is 5:15 empty. But here's the thing that confuses me. Of all the people who are posting their screenshots, and there's a lot of them, two lonely people sitting in the back. For that one, why are they not taking the earlier in the day showings, because this is kind of damning. Let's go to a different theater, maybe, Grapevine Mills had some kind of shooting or something. No, this is an awful theater. Okay, 2 people sitting in that. Irving, okay, Irving Mall. That's a relatively popular mall. Again, a few seats, not much. This is opening weekend on a Sunday, and we're looking at times kids actually will go to shows. And here's 4:30. You got 4 people sitting in the middle. So the film's not doing well. Clearly, it's not doing well. And for some of you watching this video, you're like, okay, yeah, I knew it. Well, good. You get validated today. You're right. There's a handful of people in there. This is at 1:45. But the thing that I'm trying to point out here is that we see a lot of data all the time of what movies are doing, what's going on, what the effect of woke and stuff is. But that's Snow White at AMC Theater, and as you can tell, many different theaters, it's bad. All right. Here's Studio Movie Grill. This is a completely different site. Maybe this will have. By the way, this website sucks. Okay, so we're gonna check it out. We're gonna go down to Texas. Let's look at the Colony. Let's look at the Colony here. The Colony is a fairly rich place near Plano, north of Dallas. It's a grandscape area. So let's look at 11 a.m. Okay, a little early for people still in church on a Sunday. Maybe they don't rush to the theater, but let's check it out. Okay, I'm gonna have this site compared to AMC. This is a way crappier experience to have to show you what's going on, but still, we want to be complete. So Colony, 11 a.m. Sunday opening weekend, 2 seats. All right, not good. All right, Studio Movie Grill, what does the food thing? So a lot of people do like going to it for they get basically lunch and a film. So let's go a little bit later. Let's go to 2 p.m. Okay, let's try that. Sunday opening weekend, 2 p.m. Get our tickets. I guess we're going to have to once again select the quantity because the site is stupid and doesn't remember any of this stuff. So hit continue. What do we have at 2 p.m.? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so early afternoon showing, Disney Snow White, opening weekend. The Colony is, again, it's at this place called Grandscape. There's a big furniture store. There's a sports store. It's designed for family. Hey, it does strike me as funny. I'm saying it's designed for kids with a furniture store. No, but it's a big ass furniture store. Okay, 5 seats here at the 4 p.m. I show you all this because look, we're all assaulted with a lot of different information all the time. And I don't feel people like do the actual work to validate out what's going on. And as a result, even when they have a point, they lose it to some extent. They lose the moral high ground. Okay, here is the Colony at 1 p.m., completely and absolutely empty. 1 p.m. on a Sunday opening weekend. You can have any seat you want. Let's go to a different theater. Again, the Colony is popular. Let's go to Arlington Highlands. It's right next to a big mall there with an ice skating rink. Again, kids like to go there. 11 a.m., same experiment. Arlington Highlands. Put in the seats again. Here we go. And continue. Continue. There we go. Slow sight. Nothing. Absolutely empty. 11 a.m. Now, again, we're going to go through a couple other theaters and we'll try some other things. But my problem in all this again is you can just go. You need to think like the actual target audience. If you're showing me screenshots from 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on a Thursday, I'm not going to be surprised that the theater is empty. To the contrary, I'm going to assume you're trying to scam the system by, doing these, the theater is completely, devoid of any people. So, by the way, I didn't do, as you could see in the links, I didn't do any of this ahead of time. I could have easily done the same experiment and the theater is packed full with no capacity anywhere. I suspected it was like this. They're completely empty. Arlington Highlands, 2 p.m. Again, these are popular theaters. Let's go to Orlando just for a second. I'm doing everything in Texas because I know the area. But let's go. Okay, the home of Disney Orlando, 2 p.m. AMC Sunset Walk. This is definitely a location where you should have. It's the home of Disney. Here we should be absolutely slammed. Let's see how this goes in Orlando. Margaritaville Boulevard. Okay, all right. We finally have a theater that's almost half full. Okay. Let's try one more time. I did 2 p.m. Let's try noon. Okay. Noon, Studio Movie Grill, Orlando, putting in these same damn seats again. Continue. What do we got? We're all breathless with anticipation. All right. Okay. A handful of, okay, this is Orlando. Again, should be more full of this on opening weekend. I've heard people say nobody goes to a theater on a Sunday, but I mean, obviously they do. It's the weekend. I'm coming back to the colony here. Whatever. No, sorry. You know what? What am I doing? This is Paddington in Peru. Okay. And let's just compare it to another movie. Maybe, it's just Snow White, but everything else is filled. We're back to the colony where we saw no seating. We're now looking for Paddington and it's empty there too. Okay. Nobody again, but these are the experiments that people should do. All right. Now we're looking at Flix Brewhouse. Okay. And Flix Brewhouse, this one, we're coming in here. Okay. Here we're looking for Frisco. All right. And we have a bunch of different theaters here. Frisco sounds good. Let's start with that. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to check out, and Flix Brewhouse is a great theater, by the way. 11 a.m. Fine. All right. 5 seats taken. 5. All right. Well, this is better than Studio Movie Girl. Let's try 11:45. Okay. God, who's taking that one seat? Well, I guess that's a handicap seat, but all right. Noon. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Better. 2. Again, nothing to really write home about, but all right. More seats here. Certainly not the completely empty theater. Here's 3 p.m. All right. Got a handful of seats. 3:30. This is a terrible theater here. Okay. 6 seats here. 4:15. Let's see what this looks like. 5. All right. That one seat in the front looks weird. 5 p.m. All right. We got 9 seats there. 6 p.m. What you're going to notice, though, is the further we go up, okay, now we have 7. And let's see, is any sad person at 8:15 on a Sunday? No, nobody is going to see that. Again, not surprising. It's a kid's movie. Nobody's going late in the evening. Nobody's going to go to a movie where, by the way, some of you be like, well, my family does. Well, yeah, your family sucks. No, I'm kidding. Let's go to San Antonio here. Go to a different area. All right. Once again, same experiment, 1:20. Trying to get just kind of right after. All right. A handful of people there. 3 p.m. All right. This 3 p.m. on a Sunday in San Antonio. That one's first one I've seen more than half full. Okay. 4:30. Few seats. 6. Okay. Again, few seats. And 10 p.m. This is kind of the time that everybody kept sending me stuff on. All right, 3. God, who are these? They'll say unavailable. Okay, I don't know what that. No, that somebody's booking those seats, I guess, in the front, or maybe they're marked off. I don't know. That's just weird. But 3 people sitting on the direct front on the edges. That checks out. Anyway, as you can see, people are going to this film in San Antonio, so good for them. But not great. Let's try one more. Let's go down to. We could go to San Antonio or Round Rock. Round Rock is near Austin. Okay. Or no, I guess I could do El Paso. We can do El Paso here. No, screw that. Let's go to Round Rock. Austin, Texas. It's just north of Austin. Again, 11:30. What do we have? Handful of seats. Okay. 12:30. Again, handful of seats. 2:30. 4. Again, that's terrible theater. A lot of these theaters are terrible. Okay. 6 seats here. This particular theater, this Flix Brewhouse, they're smaller theaters. Let's try 9:30 again just to prove the point. Yeah, it's empty. Yeah, no shit. All right. So what does all this tell us? Okay. In general, again, why did I do this? Because some people will be confused or will be intentionally confused. The main reason I did this is because I keep seeing screenshots of this film from late in the day for a kids film, and then they're like dunking on it because nobody's there, and it's like, of course nobody's there, and so the facts of this stuff tend to matter. It matters because if we really truly want to have an objective look at things, here's 3 theaters, a bunch of different theaters, and what you're seeing there is the movie is clearly not doing great. In a couple theaters, it's not terrible. I mean, half capacity is okay. The thing that strikes me about this whole thing is like how many theaters it's in. I mean, Jesus Christ, you've got like some of those AMC, they're showing it at least 4 of their screens at any given time. That's way too many. But regardless, the film isn't doing well. I think that's fairly clear. And I think there's an objective way to look at it. But I walked through this with you. Again, many of you probably will not care. But I think it's important to actually get a look at how this stuff works versus just taking one screenshot, which is often severely out of context. And isn't it better when you actually have more of the context? I would think. Anyway, you let me know. It's fun to kind of check around. Thanks for listening.